Hey, my name's Jake Nicholson. Welcome to my YouTube channel. The inflation data's out. It's significantly worse than we were expecting. And I want to explain why. Because the inflation data, some of it's actually gone up. Some of it's also gone down. But the problem is, this is all pre the war in the Middle East. And we were looking at inflation coming back down to 2% by April, which we've still got a little while for that data to come through. But now we're looking at a month that really didn't move much, wasn't as good as we were expecting. And all of this is prior to anything that's coming along the pipeline from the new war. So before we jump into this, if you're new around here and you haven't done already, do subscribe to my channel over there and hit that bell notification. By subscribing, you'll get all the latest property news, house price news, interest rate news, property investing tips, and much, much more. And help me get some views on this video. Your part in that is simple. All you need to do is smash like, tickle like, do something to that like button. That really helps with the YouTube algorithm, and that really does help the channel grow. So thanks to everyone that does that. So this isn't good, this inflation data, because we're expecting bigger drops in inflation to get us towards that 2% target. And we kind of need those at the moment. We need to get some lower inflation in the bag because inflation is expected to go up. And if we're starting at a higher point and then we're going up, it's going to be even higher than a lot of analysts were expecting. So the inflation data for February that we just got today shows that inflation stayed at 3%, which isn't great. So we're now at 3% with all of the stuff that we know is coming along the pipeline that's going to get significantly worse. Now, how did we stay or get to that 3%? Well, it's interesting. There's a few things that helped, and you'll see why this is a problem in a second. So clothes was one. Clothes went up this month by 0.8%. Not insignificant. So clothing's got more expensive. That is what it is. Next, alcohol went down. That was one of the key drivers in making sure inflation did not go up again this month. So alcohol was down. Now this is where we get the problem. Fuel was one of the ones that was down this in April's data. In February's data. And the average cost per litre that they're saying was £1.31. Now, anywhere you go now, you can see it's significantly more, isn't it? So we know that one of the things that held inflation slightly lower and didn't increase it this month was fuel. We know that's going out the window as soon as we start getting future data. When we get the March data, we know it's gone up significantly for diesel and for petrol. So that's going to be reversed quite sharply in March's data, which isn't good. What was fairly positive was wages. So wages were above inflation. Again, they've been consistently there. That helps with property, doesn't it? Because that means once this inflation disappears, finally, if the war was to end this week, which is really, really hard to understand because you've got Trump saying that we've got a 15-point plan, and that 15-point plan is being negotiated with the Iranians. And then this morning, I've seen in the news that Iranians said, who are you talking to? This is not true. This is not happening. And Iran is bombing more military bases in the Middle East. So, yeah, is this Donald Trump just manipulating markets, or are there some conversations there and Iran just don't want to admit it? Who knows? But what I do know from this is that, look, if wages are higher than inflation, that's good. That's helping a little bit, isn't it? And that does improve affordability for properties if this was all to end quite quickly, which fingers crossed for everyone's sake it does. What about core inflation? That's the inflation that takes out the volatile stuff. So it takes out the energy costs. Well, this is where it starts to get a little bad because core inflation went up. And that's what we don't want to be happening because we know the volatile stuff's going up this month. So core inflation went from 3.1% to 3.2%. Not a huge increase, but still, it's not great, is it? So, yeah, that isn't where we want to see that going. So what else is important here? One that they talk about, the Bank of England talk about. That's who I care about because I don't want them to put interest rates up. They talk a lot about service inflation, and that was 5-6% for ages. Even when the inflation kept dropping, that stuck high. Well, that was a bit positive. So service inflation went from 4.4% in January to 4.2%. So that's moving in the right direction. What is service inflation? Well, most of Britain's economy is service accommodation. It's your plumber, it's your estate agent, it's your hairdresser, it's a restaurant, anyone that provides a service, which we are a service-based economy. So the fact that that's moving in the right direction is probably good. But what also could be happening here, which we want to keep an eye on, is that businesses just have hit a ceiling. They just can't lift their prices anymore because people just won't buy from them at that stage. That means their profitability will probably shrink and you'll see more bankruptcies with businesses. That isn't what you want to see because that means unemployment will go crazy high. So not good if that happens. The analysts are now predicting year-end inflation. Where's that going to? Well, the inflation now is expected to hit 4.6% by the end of this year. So frustrating. Like, we felt like we were literally that close. Interest rate cuts this month, moving in the right direction, trying to get the economy going again. And yeah, we're going back to 4.6% inflation. I think it could easily hit that. Let me know what you think. I'm just driving around looking at the cost of fuel. That is just going to have a knock-on effect on so many businesses. You know everyone's going to put the prices up at the supermarket and they're just going to blame it on the fuel costs, and you've got no choice but to pay those higher costs. This isn't great, and I don't really see our government doing much to help here. Now, they have talked about helping people on benefits with some energy costs. I think they're going to give people 150 quid. That will help a little bit for people on benefits. But what about the workers? What about the people that are also working and helping this economy? They're not really getting any support here. Whereas other countries, for example, yesterday I was out with a friend that lives in Ireland. In Ireland, they are reducing the fuel duty. So they're making the tax on the fuel less, and that will mean that the costs of fuel won't go up as much in Ireland. Spain is also doing the same thing. Spain did smart things in the last bout of inflation. They took off tax off a lot of public transport, which helped people to make things still affordable. I don't really see this government doing much. So I think we're on our own. We've got to fix our own stuff here. So yeah, frustrating stuff. Am I going to have a video tomorrow where I say the war's over and fuel's back down, interest rates are going to start dropping again? You never know. You just don't know with what's going on. It's crazy at the moment. I see loads of stuff on social media where it says about the President of the United States saying something, and then we wait for Iran to confirm whether it's true or not. Yeah, crazy. Anyway, do make sure, this is important, from 2 private landlords that I've spoken to this week, weren't aware that they had to get this letter out. More than 1,000 of you have got a copy of this now. In the description and in the first comment, I'll put a copy of this. This is the Renters' Rights Act information sheet. You might want to have a look if you're a tenant. You might want to have a look if you're a landlord. You need to get this letter if you're a tenant. Your landlord is obligated to get it to you by the end of May, or they could get fined £7,000. It's only a 4-page letter. It explains how the Renters' Rights Act works. If you're a landlord, get it to your tenant now. Don't wait. If you're using a letting agent, make sure they've got proof of receipt of that, because it's your problem if they don't do it. So grab a copy in the description. Do like the video and subscribe, and check out all the other content as well on the channel, including this video right here.